Hey, Grand Rising, everybody, and thank you for your patience as I got the other technology going. I'm just going to tell you, running multiple computers first thing in the morning is not my gig. And so I had to switch out computers, and here we are and ready to go. And today we're going to talk about a very important topic, your water supply, and all the different places it comes from and how you can check it and how do you know what's in it, because you can't really see it unless it gets really dirty and it's got specks, but we know it doesn't show up that way. We know it presents itself as clean, but the truth of the matter is it's not. And so I have my brother from another mother on here, Rajai Keldani, spiritual teacher, frequency expert, or genius, because an expert thinks that they know everything, but a genius gets it downloaded from the divine. So there you go. But anyway, we're gonna walk you through not only what's going on with our water supply, what bottled water is doing to you, to your oceans, all the myths about this bottled water. It's really not that good for you. And structured water and alkaline water. So let me bring on Rajai. Good morning, brother.
Good morning. How are you?
I am good. My iPad wouldn't log on Podbean, so I'm like, okay, let's go to the computer.
Yeah, don't you love technology?
Like, okay, whatever, forget about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are. We got a comment already this morning. Zelda says, Grand Rising, beautiful queen teacher at Jim. Have a great show. I hope you're bringing your filtered water and it's not in a bottle.
Right.
and it's in a stainless steel bottle that you brought home or brought from home. Just saying. We don't want those microplastics in my beautiful sister's intestinal tract. So, and then we have Teddy. Teddy says, Dear Susan Essentials, I'm planning on being on here, Lord willing, and some creek don't rise. I'm not sure what that means. I love her. I don't always understand, but because sometimes I'm not the smartest or brightest light in the bulb. See, that's my point. So let's talk about water, shall we?
Absolutely.
And I love telling stories. You know that, right? So do you. And we both do a good job, I think. And I want to start with back when I was disabled, because I filtered both my tap and my my shower. And the tap water, I think I was using Brita. It takes out 4 ingredients, people.
Right.
Chlorine, arsenic. Actually, let's just talk about that for a minute. Let's look up, and maybe you want to look up another one, Raj. I mean, they're really pretty, right? But they're only taking out 4 ingredients, and I'm looking here on the website, and it doesn't, it's not like readily available as far as. Maybe if I go to the shop now button.
Which one is that? Which one are you looking at?
Brita. Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Brita. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah. So here it is. Yeah. So this is really cool. I'm going to show it to everybody now. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Now it's, so it says the Tahoe screen water picture. Brita Insider. No, thank you. Oops. It is affordable. It's $41.99. Okay. it's saying it's made without BPA. Well, BPA is just replaced with BPS. And, anybody who has to use plastic, that's just the case on that, just so you know. So like no one can do it any better. Okay. But the thing is, they're not telling you really what, at least on this website that I can see, unless you see something different, Raj, what they're actually taking out. And so when you go to the store, you'll see this. And it takes out, I mean, when I saw it before and I, turned it around, it takes out 4 items. Chlorine was one, arsenic was the other. I believe it's still leaving in the fluoride, which is calcifies your pineal gland. And it's just, not really doing anything for you. And then when you compare that to what we're going to share with you that takes out 220 contaminants, and leaves in the minerals, it's a game changer. Now, just for transparency, I use the Brita, right? Because I went in the store and it was there, and I'm like, oh, what a good idea! Filter the water, right? But like most of us, I was not doing my homework, okay, and I wasn't. So $41 is not a lot of money, and you're basically throwing it away because it's not doing anything for you. Would you agree, Raj?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly better than nothing, but it's not doing a whole lot for you.
Well, it's close to nothing
Yeah.
because in Illinois, where I started using it, there were 18 total contaminants in the water supply. So 4 of them are being taken out for $41. The water filter that I'm offering, that's comparable, meaning the pitcher is, I think, like $70, and now it's 25% off. So it's, and it takes out 220 contaminants.
Yeah, you're better off getting, spending a little bit more. It's not that much more,
Right.
and getting a much better, filter. It's like, what's the old adage? Either filter your water or you're the filter.
Yeah, don't be the filter, right?
Filter. Well, yeah, I mean, because you're gonna have to, your body's will have to process whatever you take in, and so
Yeah. So let me just do this. So here we go. So here's what we want to tell you not to do today. Don't be the filter, people. So okay. So there's that part. That's one of the competitors that are in the store. But what you really want to do, you don't want to do this impulse buy. You don't want to like do something quick or do something easy. You want to know what you're buying. A lot of people will go with their gut feeling. I'm an intuitive. I love to go with my gut feeling, but not when it comes to my water supply. I want to see the third-party tested report. Okay. So if you're not seeing the third-party tested report, why are you buying it?
yeah, I mean, water is one of the easiest and most. It's going to give you the best bang for your buck, right? Going from water that's contaminated to clean water. I mean, that's an easy fix, and that's gonna go a long way towards helping your body heal. In terms of what your body needs, right?
Well, your mental health. I want to talk about that because your mental health is huge. And when I'm guiding, like, my previous psychologist, my doctor, who recommends, my functional food program, she refers her clients to me. And there's 2 changes I make, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I help them with many, many things. But the first 2 main changes I make: what's your water supply look like?
Right.
And are you neutralizing electromagnetic frequencies? Because the EMF is pulling on the brain and all those heavy metals that are in the water, and it's connecting with the water that's in your brain, which is like 70%. And we got to hold on a second. Zelda says something else. Grand Rising, oh wise ones. Hi, Jody and Raj. Looking forward to enlightening show. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so if you're having emotional issues, this is the number one thing you can do for your mental health. If you're having physical issues, this is the number one thing you can do for your physical health. The number one thing, according to me, and probably according to many doctors who understand, these holistic doctors. Because if you are consuming 18 total contaminants every time you take a drink of water or showering in that, it goes straight into your bloodstream from the shower.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and some of these chemicals that are in there, and you know, it varies from place to place. Some places are a lot more than even the 18, and I'm sure it can fluctuate. But some of these, you know, chemicals are very detrimental to your health. I mean, some more than others, right? Um,
You know, I'm
and so,
pulling it up right now, right?
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, and so you know, why would you want to put that into your body if you can avoid it?
Okay, somebody who's listening, give me your zip code. Tell me your zip code. I will pop this in and I will tell you what's in your water supply, in your municipality. Okay? So I'm going to start with my zip code, okay? So mine is, hold on, 30064. We're at the ewg.org website, and I'm going to share this screen. So check this out. So Cobb County, I wonder if I can make this just a little bit bigger for everybody. So these are the search results for 30064. I'm in Marietta, Georgia, and you click on Cobb County, which, okay. So there's 10 contaminants that exceed the EWG health guidelines, 18 total contaminants, right? Legal limits for contaminants in tap water have not been updated in almost 20 years. Okay. And just because it's legal doesn't mean that it's actually safe, because getting a passing grade from the federal government doesn't mean that the water meets the latest health guidelines. So the best way to ensure clean tap water is to keep pollution out of the source water in the first place. But since we don't have control on that, we're going to just control ourselves. So I want to show you, I'm actually going to make this bigger and just show 3 at a time. So how much fun is that? I'm sorry to start the morning this way, but y'all really need to see this. So, and I'm just going to show this. Don't be the filter. Okay. So this is what's going on in your water supply. Okay. And if you're in Georgia, bromodichloromethane is over 141 times over the EWG's health guideline. Okay. There's no legal limit for it. The EWG says the health guideline is 0.06 parts per billion, and this utility has 8.44 parts per billion. Chloroform. Oh, by the way, it only causes cancer. The next one is chloroform. You know, that's fun. This is 75 times over the EWG's health guideline. This utility is 29.8 parts per billion, and the EWG health guideline is 0.4 parts per billion. No legal limit. Chromium. Oh, yeah, by the way, it only causes cancer. Chromium is 4.3 times over the guideline. I mean, y'all kind of see where we're going here.
Yeah, and they're not just slightly over. In some of these cases, they're like, you know, was that 232 times over?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm. So here's what I want. Oh, that's insane. Here you go, honey.
Oh
Here's
God.
some real insanity for you. Halocetic acid, 461 times over the EWG's health guideline. Okay. So and that doesn't include, these are the other contaminants tested. So let me just pull that out so we can have some more fun. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Dichlorothane, trichloropropane, butadiene, dioxine, butanol, beta, estradiol, methoxethol, whatever that is.
Yeah, it says those they tested for those, but were not detected. So
Oh no, okay. Oh, not chemicals tests were not detected, but where are the other ones that are? Thank you for catching me because it is. Oh, others detected. Here are the ones that are detected in ins. Thank you, sir.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm ready to go right back to bed. So fluoride, right?
Mm.
The legal limit. There is now a legal limit on fluoride, which is 4 parts per million. This does not exceed it, but when you're drinking fluoride, it's calcifying your pineal gland.
Yeah, there really shouldn't be any fluoride at all in the water. I mean, there is it's not necessary at all.
Yeah, and we could go. Remind me, Raj, to go to the Fluoride Action Network because they'll tell us everything we need to know there. And then we have aluminum. Who here knows? You know what aluminum does? Anybody in the guests that know what aluminum does to your brain? You want to tell them, Raji?
Well, it inflames the brain. I mean, aluminum is one of the leading causes for a lot of the brain health issues that people have, things like Alzheimer's and dementia. An accumulation of that aluminum crosses the blood-brain barrier and inflames the brain.
So if it's inflaming the brain, how do you think you're feeling? Like brain fog, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Not a good feeling. I've had brain fog before. It's not fun.
So think about, I want to bring some distinctions around the brain fog thing, right? So it's, you can't find your keys. Oh, I can't remember what I was supposed to do. What's my next meeting? Like, we should know what we're up to.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember when I was dealing with it, I was working a regular job and I was, dealing with people and stuff all day long. And I was struggling. I mean, I really had to like put in a lot of effort into like trying to do what I was trying to do. And by the time I got done with the day, I was exhausted just from trying to keep up mentally with everything because of the brain fog.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. I'm gonna take this back to what happened to me yesterday. I was flipping exhausted. Well, so I was traveling, right? And we now have Vieta on and Phil. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining the show this morning. We're talking about our water supply. And so I was traveling to Miami. We're in like Ubers and taxi cabs and things like that. And they all have these freaking air fresheners. Now, anybody who's done the research knows that air fresheners are causing cancer. Again, just like all the chemicals that are in the water supply that cause cancer that we just showed a moment ago, and we'll show it again, so don't worry. We'll let you get thwarted too this morning. But so I'm getting exposed to that, and my prefrontal cortex just like it feels heavy. That's a feeling of brain fog because you can breathe in a fragrance for like essential oils, and in 20 seconds, if I breathe in, look at this here. What is this? Oh, it's helichrysum. Not my favorite smell, but hold on. Console essential oil, great for people who are grieving, right? Or which is every day, right? We're grieving on some level. So you palm of your hand, right? And you breathe it in, and it gets into my brain in 20 seconds and into my bloodstream in 30. So what do you think is happening when you get into a cab and they've got that air freshener in and you breathe it in? Okay, so it took 30 seconds or 40 seconds because you didn't go, like this. Now, those toxins are also getting into your water supply. And so then you're drinking them too, and you're showering in them as well. And so you have to look at the circle here where whatever you're using is going into the water supply. You're showering in it. You're showering in it. You are drinking it. So we have to be great stewards of our planet and great stewards of our body. Show over.
Well, yeah, you know what? It is really that simple. I mean, you know, but unfortunately, you know, we have to do all these things, right? I mean, we shouldn't have to be dealing with all this stuff, but we do, right? And you either protect yourself, or you know, you pay the consequences, and that's what a lot of people maybe unintentionally do, right? Because they're just not thinking, or they haven't really thought about their water supply much. But that's something that every household should be thinking about. Everyone that's consuming water, that's using water, should be thinking about this.
So yeah, and here's the thing, people. Yeah, we're going to talk about alkaline, Phil. We're going to talk about alkaline and ionizer. Thank you for asking. We are definitely going to get there. Yeah, it was interesting. I was speaking to a man yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, it was Sunday night. Who has a water company out in Florida, which I may actually bring on his company as an add-on to what we're doing here, because he does hydrogen water.
Mm.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So, and I held the water in my hand in his device, and my whole body started to tingle, like, you know, the happy tingle, right? So, but anyway, we're going to get to ionizing water. We're definitely going to get to alkaline water. And I want to, can you guys give me a zip code? Because we're going to show you what's in your water supply in your zip code. So Philip and Kathy or Vieta, just punch in a zip code. We're going to start showing you the trend here, that it's really no different in any zip code. Okay. Raj, what's your zip code?
You know what? I want to do East Palatine, Ohio. That's where they had the spill.
So I don't know if this is after that, if they tested after the spill or not.
Yeah,
but nonetheless, let's go ahead and do it anyway.
Yeah,
right?
44413.
Okay, so continue to cite and go back to tap.
44413.
Some angel numbers in there though. So we've got different counties. Let me just show you. I think this is it. Yeah. So we've got should I go to the Buckeye Water District, Ohio River, Columbia?
Yeah, just pick the one that's got the most people.
Oh, East Palestine, you said, right?
East Palatine, yeah.
Okay, here we go. So again, 10 total contaminants, 10 exceed 14 total. Holy crap. Okay, so arsenic is 442 times over the legal limit in that county. Arsenic. Now, in a lot of the counties, which, you know, I just want to see if atrazine is in there. So does anybody who's listening know what atrazine does? Okay, so atrazine turns male frogs into female frogs. So if you wonder why we're having gender confusion. So Kathy's saying her, so I've got, well, I'm going to do Philip first, 60046. He's a Chicago person, right? Okay. So, so he's either in, well, 60036 is Highland Park, I thought. 6046, is that Lake Forest or Libertyville? Phil? I'm
I think
gonna.
it's probably Gray's Lake, but
So Gray's Lake, I believe, is 60030 because we were there.
mm,
I'm gonna try Lake Forest or Mundelein. I'm gonna try Mundelein.
mhm.
Okay. Hi, Charlie. Thank you for joining. Lake Villa. Okay, so let me try that. Lake Villa. Oh, interesting. Lake Villa doesn't show up, which then would be Gray's Lake. So you were right, Raji. So Gray's Lake and Lake Villa are next door to each other. Wow. So that explains our toilets. I remember when we were there, 16 exceed 26 total contaminants.
Mm.
Now that's nearby. That's not too far from the military base,
Yeah.
and also where a lot of PCB dumping was done. So if you page down again, arsenic 95 times over the EWG's healthy guidelines, and all these are causing cancer. But I want to talk about like what's happening prior to cancer, right? So you get brain fog first, you have stress, you get anxiety, you have emotional outbursts, you don't feel good. You could be crying a lot of sadness, depression. You may pick up alcohol to numb that pain. So instead of picking up, a fifth of scotch or whatever it is, or bourbon, or beer, filter your water. Don't get the anxiety and stuff to begin with, and have some lavender essential oil. So let's go back to. So Kathy says she is on well water 08332. So let's see what happens. So this is, I believe, municipality water that is measured. So 08332. 08332. So that is Millville. View this utility. So you're in New Jersey. Okay, cool. So I'm going to do this one right here. So holy crap.
Mhm.
Wow. 13 exceed the EWG health guidelines, 44 total contaminants. I hope you're filtering your water, Kathy. Arsenic 98. I'm wondering how arsenic gets into the water supply. Does anyone know? Because I honestly, I don't know. I'm here to learn too. So
Yeah, I don't know either, but bless you.
thank you. But again, fluoride, mercury, silver, selenium. So selenium is really good for you when you're reducing your cholesterol levels. But when you take selenium more than, like, if you have an over amount, if you exceed the amount of selenium you should take in a day, or in this case, I know that a month, you should not have more than 4 Brazil nuts, which has the active ingredient of selenium in it, because it then will negatively impact your body. It's actually bad for you. So now, if selenium's in your water supply, right now, what? So I'm looking up where arsenic comes from. Okay, so this makes sense to me. It says inorganic arsenic compounds are found in soil, sediments, and groundwater, but these compounds occur either naturally or as a result of mining, smelting, and industrial use. So, and their organic arsenic is found in mainly fish and shellfish. Holy crap! Who knew that arsenic was in shellfish? But I just feel like there's more to it than what we know about right now. And so if anybody who comes on board who knows about where arsenic is coming from, then, like, pipe in, let us know. Always a student. So who else has a zip code they want to share? Hi, Greg. So Greg, you're, I think, in the Highland Park area. I'm gonna show you what's going on in your water supply. So thank you for joining the show. And so what we're talking about for those of you who just came in is all the toxins that are in our water supply. So if you're suffering from depression, this is why, because there's all these contaminants. So 11 contaminants that exceed the EWG health guidelines, but 24 total contaminants. And so Greg, in your town, 67% exceeds the EWG's health guideline by 67% for arsenic, chloroform 40%.
No, that's not 67%. That's 67 times.
Right. Yeah, I'm so tired. Really, I just want to be in bed right now. Thank you for being
Yeah,
my.
that's worlds different than 67%.
Yeah, 67 times. Thank you. Thank you, because I'm exhausted. So I've been traveling all last weekend, and yeah, it was a lot. So halocetic acids 364 times. And so what Raj and I do is we help people get water filters into their house. This is not a sales call. This is a mission. Because the filter that I started using when I reclaimed my health is, well, I'll just show you. It takes out 220 contaminants from from the water supply. Okay. And it leaves in the minerals, which is really good for your brain health. And so I said at the beginning, I was going to share this story. So I get my water filters in the shower head and the tap. Now we use whole house because, I'm not in an apartment anymore. But if you're in an apartment, you get the shower head and the whole house. If you're in a home, you can still do piecemeal. That's fine. Or you can do the whole house and make sure you don't have these contaminants on your clothing. They're not on your drinking glasses. They're not on the plates that you eat off of. Make sure that your animals are getting the filtered water. I went into this one place at a local store, and the guy had a Great Dane, and I'm an animal communicator, and the Great Dane said to me, "Hey, ask my dad to give me the filtered water from the house." He's like, and so the next time I came back to pick up my repair, the dog was like, thank you, I'm getting filtered water, But here's the thing, like if you're having skin imperfections, like you're having hives, like all that kind of stuff, itchy eyes, these are symptoms of water that's not been filtered. If you have back pain, any kind of pain, actually, muscular, nervous, actually, especially nerve pain. So one of the big things, I reversed my symptoms of small fiber neuropathy. They say that is not reversible. So why do they say that's not reversible? Because they're not practicing functional medicine. They're not practicing a lifestyle that's free of contaminants. But if you choose differently, meaning you pull the contaminants out of your water supply, you choose to purchase food from farmers that are not farming with contaminants. They can be organic or they can be sustainably produced. What you want to do is really know your farmers, people. You need to know who you're buying your food from. And I'm not saying I don't have to buy from Whole Foods from time to time. I'm just saying my preference is to buy from farmers because I know exactly how they're treating, their chickens and their cows and how they're growing their vegetables and things like that. And so this in our water supply, you're going to have, of course, the bacteria, the heavy metals. These heavy metals are connecting with the 5G and all the other radiation. And so when they ramp up the 5G and the cell towers, and you have all that radiation going, it's connecting with the heavy metals in your brain, because your brain is 70% water and your body's about 85% water, people. And so I'm going to help you try to understand this. So your body's filled with these heavy metals because you're potentially not drinking filtered water or showering in filtered water. And then they ramp up the 5G and everybody's using their Wi-Fi and the kids are in school and they're online and everything's ramping up. That's connecting with the metal that's in your body. Think about anxiety, depression, okay, outbursts, crying. Look, I'm just telling you that this is not how it's supposed to be. It's not how it's, Raj, I'll just like talk all day about this, right? You're probably not going to word in edgewise.
No, it's okay. No, you got some good info. But yeah, you're right. I mean, look, it takes a toll on you in more ways than one, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally. And yeah, it's just a strain on your system. Why even deal with it if you can prevent it?
Right. And there are ways to get this out of your body
Mm,
safely. And the first thing is to change your water. Right. And so the second way is then to use things, and it's different for everybody, but the first thing, you want to do is change your water. To get the microplastics out, you can use lemon essential oil in a veggie cap. And you always want to take essential oils in a veggie cap if you're ingesting your essential oils. And the reason is because, oils are medicinal. They're very, very strong, and if it's hitting your body, it can, as much as it can help, it can also harm, just like anything else that we use, right? So we have to respect and honor the things that we bring into our body and our field and use them properly.
mhm.
And then the heavy metals can be removed with activated charcoal, cilantro essential oil. Microplastics, I learned, also can be removed with aloe. I have not used that methodology. The lemon essential oil was so much faster for me. So, and if you want to see more information on the water filtration systems, we put the link there in the thread. So, what a zeolite. Yes, zeolite is actually amazing. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Who said zeolite? Let me see. Let me go back there. Kathy. Yeah, thank you, Kathy. Zeolite is amazing. I have not used it, but I've recommended it for many people who were trying to get the heavy metals out of their body. Thank you for the
Yeah,
contribution.
I have a product that I use that's got all that stuff in combined. It's zeolite, it's activated charcoal, it's a bunch of other stuff too. It doesn't taste that great, but it works really well. So it's called Restorex,
Oh,
and
through New Age or Partner
oh,
Co.
Partner Co. Yeah, and that's a really good product that they have, and it's great for binding and pulling stuff out. But it kind of has really everything that you need in terms of pulling stuff out.
Send me a link for that so I can show it.
Okay, let me see if I can
Yeah.
grab that. That's a good product. I typically when I take it at night before I go to bed. Just mix it in with some water and then just drink it. And yeah,
Yeah, and so let's talk about this. So when you're doing this, you need to really, and you're doing the detox, right? And low and slow is always really important, people. So, and I'm just going to say this: I don't care what product it is that you're using. Um, well, I do care. I want to make sure you're using a safe product. But here's what you want to do first: you want to shower and drink water and don't do any detox for at least a week or two, because I need you to safely detox, because we need to protect your kidneys and your liver, which are processing all that stuff, that gunk. And if you do it too quickly, you're asking your body to reprocess all those heavy metals and stuff and all those toxins, and you could harm your own body. So you want to work with, someone like myself or Raj, or get yourself a naturopathic doctor, another nutritionist. But these things are really, really important. And I also want to show, I'm going to show the water filters are on sale now, by the way. They're 25% off. And so I'm just going to show what we have here. So we have the shower heads, right? Handheld, and you can buy, I made it easy so you could buy the extra cartridges, replacement cartridges. You replace the cartridge, they say every 6 months. I'm going to tell you that you need to muscle test it for your house or your home so that you know how often to replace that cartridge. And if you don't know how to muscle test, have no fear. Raj and I did a video, which I'm putting in the thread right now, to teach you how to muscle test. It's right here. Okay. How to muscle test. You muscle test your food. I even go through about muscle testing your water, because this is critical. You need to know what's being put into your body. And thank you for sending that link. I'll get that one up in a minute.
Yeah.
And so, so here is, for the showers. Then you have the countertop model. Under the counter, this is 2,000 gallons. This is 900 gallons with a pre-sediment. So if you're on well, you need the 2-stage system. The whole house system. Let me see. This is another shower head. So if you don't want handheld, my husband does not like handheld. I do. We shower in 2 different showers. Let me just go here. And then the replacement filters. We love using this one here for travel. And we also take it to events. You just pour it in on the top and it comes out the bottom. And you can use it in a lake. So if you go camping. So this one here is the comparison, the picture, and comparison to Brita.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But so again, Brita's taking out like 3 or 4 ingredients. This is taking out 220. And then this weekend, we didn't even take this large silver traveler. We took this plastic Scout, and it fits into our backpack, and it was so awesome. And so we filled that up, and that was amazing. So it's just, provide you with a clean environment. You get to control, what's in your water supply. You should always be in control what's in your water supply and food supply. Unfortunately, a lot of this stuff has been done under the radar. And so we have an opportunity now to do differently, since we understand differently. And then there was one other thing. Oh, so I'm just going to show this real quick. Let me see if I can. So here. And you're at a store. By the way, 11 of the brands of bottled water tested have 38 contaminants. Your tap usually has anywhere between 5 and 18. Just letting you know. So if you are in the store and you want to pick out a water, like bottled water, because you just don't have access to anything that's clean, or muscle test your water, your bottled water. Ask if it's for your highest good, yes or no, right? And like infinite credible source, is this water here for my highest good? Is it toxic free? Yes. Does it have glyphosate in it? No, right? And I use this not only when I am buying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop that, but I put the video in the thread. So if you want to learn how to access source energy, bring in the divine, and learn how to muscle test your food and water. How long was that show, Raj? Like an hour? An hour, 7 minutes, something like that. And that will really help you, that like when we were traveling, we were able to access clean water when we needed it. We're able to muscle test it. And then the other thing, this is really cool. So we stayed at a hotel called Arlo in Miami. And they were not selling, they actually gave us in our hotel room bottled water, but it's boxed. They gave us boxed water, like a carton. And it's one of the only brands that I drink. So I'm like, crap, you guys are awesome. So it happens. I mean, people are waking up. Does anybody have questions yet about the water? And I know, Raj, do you want to start talking about alkaline water and how we get water in an alkaline state, or do you want me to start and you finish?
Well, before we do that,
Oh, the
let me.
detox. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also want to send you a little blurb I found here.
Okay. So I want to share. I'm going to share that screen. So this is RestoreX. So it's got. So this is awesome. It's got activated charcoal, zeolite, chlorella.
Yeah, click on the little label there and zoom in on it. So there's a label.
Oh yeah, awesome. Let me just do this. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you helped me pilot. Thank you, because I'm tired this morning. And thank you, everybody, for sending me grace. So I'm going to put this link in the thread. So you, Raj, you want to walk them through what's on the screen?
Yeah, so I mean, this has got a number of chelating and binding agents and really, you know, foods that can help you detoxify. It's a great product that works really, really well. And you know, you start taking it, you'll start noticing stuff coming out of you. So I've used it, you know, quite a bit. And again, I try to use it at night, you know, just because that's when your body's doing a lot of detoxifying. And so that's a better time to use it than, like, say, in the morning, as an example. But it really kind of combines a lot of the great specific ingredients that people sometimes use for this kind of thing all into one. And it's a good product. It's not cheap, but it's worth the money for sure. Especially, you know, if you are, well, most people are, just because we've been exposed to so many chemicals and, you know, the heavy metals in our environment. We all need to detoxify from time to time.
So I detox daily.
Yeah.
After I went through my main detox back in 2013, I had to do it again because, so this is an interesting story. As you know, Raj, I was overexposed to radiation, 15 smart meters on the wall. And thank you very much for helping me through.
Yep.
And I'm going to show your study. So I'm going to tell the story about what happened and what that did as far as increasing the toxic level in my body this year. Then we're going to go to a new study that underscores the dangerous levels of chemical pollution since 1950. And then we're going to go into alkaline water. Okay. Raj, you're going to keep me on task?
Yep.
Thank you, Dolly. So I'm going to take this off the screen. I did put the link in the thread if you need this. Okay. So, so this year was exposed to 15 smart meters on the bedroom wall of the apartment that I was staying in when my husband and I moved here to Georgia and we couldn't find a home. So each one smart meter, which is measuring your electricity, can be also measuring your gas and or your water. In our case, it was electricity. So the one smart meter is equivalent to the radiation that comes from 150 smartphones. Okay, not so smart, right? So what is that? 2,225 or 2,250? It's you know, about 2,200 smartphones that basically I'm living in. And so I get out the book. Well, first of all, I'm having emotional outbursts. I'm having breakdowns, fighting with my husband. I printed out a piece of paper. Divorce me now, I say. Because, you know, my whole body is messed up. Let me see if I can do this right. I don't think Oh, here it is. So first of all, it was not.
That was easy.
It was not easy. Okay. Instead, where'd it go? Oh, well, there's another button that I shouldn't use. It's the this one here. I'll get okay. Okay, it was that. Okay, so so I'm a hot mess. He's a hot mess. The birds are a hot mess. You know, Fagala is chewing through all the cords in the house because she's so nervous. She's chewing on the molding. She's chewing everything she can because she has so much anxiety, and she's usually a very calm bird. She's chewing through everything because her poor little bird body is like hurting. She's just completely hurting. So she has anxiety, okay, and stress. So did we. So now I'm just going to I'm not going to fast forward too much. I got out Dr. Mercola's book, EMF. I see in the book on page, I think it was like 224, that the most amount of EMF that you should have in your bedroom is 0.03. Okay. We had over 100 because once we got the tri-field meter out and we're measuring it, it got to 99.99 and the meter broke. Just stopped working. It's like, we can't go that high, you know? And so you got to bring levity to this because, you know, it's kind of effed up. So, so it can't go that high. And we called the Cobb County electric company, and they tell me that the meters are approved by the manufacturer. And I'm like, yeah, of course they're approved by the manufacturer. They're selling it to you. Okay. So, you know, let's think this through. I know you guys are super, super smart. I know who my followers are. So share it with your friends who are not that smart yet. Okay. So, so I gained 50 pounds in the time that I was there. So what we know is that when our body can't process synthetics, it stores it in our fat cells. So what's happening is the red blood cells in my body are clumping, right? And my spleen can't get rid of the toxic waste. The liver can't process it. The kidneys can't process it, and everything's shutting down. And I'm gaining weight. And so what I'm telling you now is that if whenever you're not getting rid of waste, okay, it's building up as a toxin in your body, in your feces and stuff. And then of course in your fat cells. And so I've now been going through the process. I lost the first 25 pounds really just by moving. All I did was move, lost 25 pounds, used a lot of pulse electromagnetic frequencies by using our Centropics product, which, you know, we can talk about on another show. But if you're looking for in my opinion, the best PMF device on the planet, you'll want to look at Centropics and call Rajai or call myself. So we move into the house and I start detoxing. And I lost 25 pounds. Then I bring in the other Centropics product, which is called the Cocoon. So one is the cloud, one is the Cocoon. And I start detoxing even more. Now, here's, you know, my book that's coming out. It was going to come out this year, but Spirit said, wait, do it in March or April. It's called Emotional Healing, Toxic-Free Living. And what they wanted me to learn prior to publishing the book was this. So and I don't think I'm alone. I'm very clear we're not alone. I'm not alone. I gain weight easily because of toxins. You know, everybody processes things differently, but my body doesn't like toxins at all. And it shows up by storing it quickly. It saves me by storing it in my fat cells. Okay. Cause it's like, oh, that's a quick fix. Right. And because I was so sick, I wasn't able to exercise it off. And you can't really exercise toxins off anyway. But I couldn't like sweat it out, you know, meaning like get some of the toxins out that way. So, and we've got other people joining. Thank you. So thank you, Eddie or Edie. Is it Edie, I think? And Jamie, thank you for joining us this morning. And so it's really a dangerous thing. And so I've had to go through another detox. Okay. And so the next thing I did was I bought this other device called the Cocoon, and it puts a cocoon around the house. And so it's neutralizing the electrosmog. So if you're having weight issues, I think I lost another 5 to 7 pounds. Again, not changing anything, really good diet, but I also wasn't able to exercise because I was in so much pain from all the toxins that were in my body just from being overexposed to radiation. And again, so you want to explain, Raj, what when you get these toxins in your body and whether it's through the radiation or the water, what that does to your brain, since we have more people on again, so we can.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when your body, first of all, so let's talk a little bit about the weight gain real quick. So
Yeah.
like when your body is in fight or flight, you're not in rest and digest, and that's when your body kind of helps to like regenerate and clean out the body, right? So you are in a constant state of fight or flight. But in addition to that, well, what do all that including the chemicals and the toxins, but also the radiation, the EMF exposure, right? How does that affect your hormones, right? Because for women in particular, when their hormonal system is out of whack, weight gain could be a big issue, right? Because if you're out of balance there, oftentimes it's going to lead to weight gain. In addition to your body trying to sequester all the toxins in the fat cells, it also will throw off your hormonal system as well.
Well, and hold on, I want to do yes and on that, especially if you're in menopausal years. I want to tell you that I lost 100 pounds and I was technically in menopause. Okay. So you don't actually have to gain weight during menopause. I actually think menopause is that I don't think it really exists. I think it's really
That was easy.
I really, really do. So so I think menopause, I'm not saying we don't go through menopause, but I'm saying you don't actually have to gain weight if you just have a toxic free environment and go. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, and then your brain is going to be affected as well. Especially with these a lot of the smaller nano pollutants, right, within the water supply. Also, not only that, but the EMF is going to bypass and go right through your skull and affect your brain.
Wait, why? Do you want to explain about the pulse, or do you want me
Well,
to?
so depending on, especially with the smart meters, right? So part of the technology that they use this pulsation, right?
Yep.
And the pulsation makes it much more effective in penetrating and actually getting through the body, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, so when they're pulsating it, so it's not always just about the EMF, it's about the quality of the EMF, because everything is part of the electromagnetic spectrum. However, the way they pulse it, even though it's a low power thing, because of the way it's pulsed, it's 10 times more effective, and it
Right,
penetrates the body.
wait. So 10 times more effective using the pulse. Now,
Mm,
go in, explain, because I'm so excited I can barely take it. We have good pulse, good EMFs. We have bad EMFs.
yeah,
And so, but both of them can enter the body deep because
yes.
of the pulse, right?
Yeah, because the way it's pulsed really upregulates its effectiveness, right? In terms of what it can do within the body. So if you just have just a regular field with just a baseline frequency, I mean, that's going to impact a bit. But when you start pulsing it, okay, that's going to dramatically change how that affects your body and your cells, right? So think of like a TV, right? Like a 60 hertz pulsation on the TV screen, right? That actually creates a certain effect within the TV, right? So that pulsation plays a big role. So it's not just about the quantity; it's also about the quality of those fields, and depending on the quality and how it's modulated, that's going to have a dramatic change in how that affects your body. And unfortunately, they use this rapid pulsation to transmit the data, right? And it's transmitting pretty much, all day long, but specifically a lot, especially with the smart meters, they do a lot of that while you're sleeping. So late at night, when you're trying to sleep, they're super active in pulsating that information back to their base stations while you're getting that. And when you're sleeping, that's probably the worst time for you to get that EMF radiation, because your body is, let's just call it, your guards down, and your body's trying to actually regenerate and process things at that time. And so if you're under that onslaught while you're sleeping, your body can't really even process what you need to do.
Right. Now pair it, because this is where we're going. We're not really off topic, people. Okay. We're pairing this with the chemical pollution in the water and how this all impairs. So I want to tie this together for you. We are not off topic. We're still talking about water. We're going to now tie what's happening outside your house with your water supply and your brain health. Go. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, brain health is what your brain consists of, what, about 70% water.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so if you're drinking contaminated water, you're showering in contaminated water, that's getting to your brain. That's going to cause all kinds of problems in terms of inflammation, brain fog. You know, we don't even want to talk about the big C word,
Oh, yeah, we should.
Well, yeah, I mean, but when we looked at those chemicals when we were on ewg.org, okay, just about every single chemical that we saw, potential cause, or potential what's the
Well,
let's
so the thing is that every single solitary chemical is causing cancer. But what they're not telling you beforehand is that okay, let me back up. After studying for years about brain health, okay, what we know and understanding our emotions and stress, cancer is caused at the end of the day by what's going on between your ears, okay, your brain health, meaning your emotions. Are you in a state of anger? Are you in a state of anxiety? Are you always stressed out? Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing this for a second. So that's where cancer comes from. It's an internal dialogue with yourself. If you're angry, you're usually angry with yourself first. Okay. So then you're self-loathing, and those cells, oh, this is perfect. We're going to talk about the emoto. Okay. You literally change the cells in your DNA, and we will get to that. But and so if your water supply has all these chemicals in it, it will cause you to feel stressed, anger, emotions, sadness, outbursts. You couple that toxic water with the toxins coming into your house. It is a recipe for disaster. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now, what am I missing?
Well,
The water supply, right? What?
Well, it's toxic thinking too, right?
Toxic stinking thinking, right?
Right. Well, I
Stinking.
mean, it becomes a vicious cycle, right? You don't
That's what
feel
I'm trying to
good.
say. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, you don't feel good. You start, negative talk, negative chatter. You're projecting those emotions, those feelings, right? And before you know it, yeah, your body responds to your feelings and your emotions, right? I mean, and your thoughts. And so now you're in this vicious cycle, right, of toxicity, whether it's through EMF, polluted water, chemicals, and now it's your own self-talk. It's your emotions, how you feel about yourself and about your situation. And yeah, I mean, it can take you down a road you don't want to go. And you have to do something to kind of break that up, right? And I've been there, right? I had all that, right? Where I had the brain fog and the lethargy and the chronic fatigue, the foggy brain, and then came the negativity, right? The depression and the negative self-talk and all that stuff, and it was just a spiral that was going leading to hell pretty much. But yes,
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hell
mm,
is life on Earth without filtered water.
there you go. That's right.
So the thing is that the toxins in your water supply are negatively impacting your water or your emotions. And to talk about the alkaline for a moment, everyone's got this big push on alkaline water. Okay. So, Phil, here we go. Alkaline water is very helpful. And cancer cannot, get some light on in here. Cancer can't live in an alkaline state. Okay, so it can't thrive in your body if you're drinking alkaline water. Now, you also you don't. I don't want y'all to go overboard. Okay, so I'm having troubles with my lighting. It's fine. So and you don't have to pay a lot. So everyone wants to charge you a lot of money for alkaline water in bottles, which are plastic, which are leaching. Okay. So, oh, we didn't get to bottled water. Okay. But the alkaline water, it's simple. Once you pull the toxins out of the water, it naturally raises the pH and goes to an alkaline state. This does not need to cost you an arm and a leg. Once you filter your water, there you go. Okay. I actually have a video on that and I will share it in a moment. What did I also say we needed to share about, honey? I can't
Well,
remember. I have
yeah, you were,
CRS.
so earlier you were mentioning Emoto, and then
Yeah.
and in terms of alkalinity, we're kind of talking about that. But yeah, you're right. So like pure water roughly is going to have a neutral pH or a little bit slightly alkaline. It's not going to be super alkaline, but it doesn't need to be. Um, I think part of the problem is we're consuming so many other things that are very, very acidic, right? So if you're drinking a Coke, as an example, that's what, like 2.6 on the scale, which is super, super acidic. But yeah, so in addition to bringing in clean, pure water, also like eliminating those super highly acidic things that we're also taking into our body.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And here is, I'm just going to show you. If you go to my website, which has already been posted, tucsonessentials.com/water hyphen filtration hyphen systems hyphen 1 / you'll see this video, which is also on YouTube. So I'm just going to make that larger and we'll bring it fast forward. Here we go. Okay. Tucson Essentials, coming live to you here from Schaumburg, Illinois. We are going to test the tap water and the ProPure. So we do a test. I'm not going to have us watch the whole thing here, but basically, spoiler alert, it's acidic before, it's non-acidic or alkaline after. Okay. But I do the test right there live for you. And what I'll do is I'll copy the link and I'll share this for you in the thread. So you can watch that on your own time. And the filters are no longer purple. They're white. I liked the purple better, but you don't always get what you want. You get what you need, which was reduced cost. Okay, so stop sharing on that. Do you want to talk about Emoto and how emotions are trapped in water? And I'll pull up some images.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So water is, first of all, it's a very malleable and unique substance, and it is essentially what allows for life to occur on this planet. Our body is, roughly 70% water, depending age and all that, right? But just generally, and different parts of the body are going to have a higher content of water. Like for instance, like your blood is going to be 90% structured water, more or less. Your brain's 70+%. So your bones might be 40% or something like
Yeah.
that. Right. So
I mean, it's interesting. I just wrote an article for this in the Florida Women's Magazine, and then also Topeka Health and Wellness. And you know, it's a thing when you start to understand that we're water, we're mostly water, which allows for, and since we're frequency beings, water is a conduit for electricity.
not only that, but it imprints information, right? So as water goes through the environment, it picks up information and transfers, and it retains that information. And so part of the information that we can impress on water are our emotions, right? Because everything is frequency, energy, and vibration, including our thoughts and our emotions, but specifically our emotions, because I think they are much more powerful in influencing something like water than a thought, right? Because it's known that your brain has a field, right? Your brain creates a field, but also your heart creates a field. But the heart field is 5,000 times stronger than the brain field, right? So strong emotions, as an example, it creates, you could feel it, right? When you're in an environment where people are angry, okay, you could feel the anger, right? I mean, we've all been there, and you could feel the tension, and it changes that environment. But water specifically picks up on that information, and it will actually structure that water through that, that frequency range, through that environment, because really water is this like malleable kind of computer, so to speak, that's picking up and retaining and delivering information from the environment, right? And so like Dr. Emoto really, had some really amazing tests that he did with water, and how thoughts and emotions can influence water and how it structures itself, utilizing just thoughts and emotions. And what we want these beautifully geometrically shaped water crystals, versus what we kind of see with that picture that you see there, right? Where you discuss me is not a very coherent frequency set that creates a beautiful geometric shape within the water, but it's picking up all that information. And so we have to really be stewards of our own thoughts, our own emotions, um, and really take, make a concerted effort to take care of that environment, because that is also part of our environment just as much as water is part of our environment. What's in the water, what's in the EMF, your EMF field, but also what's in you. What are you running through your head? What emotions are you allowing to rule your life, right? And so if you're always in, conflict, and you're always angry, and you're always fighting, and that will affect your health, because
All
it's
day.
100%, because primarily it's affecting the water within your body.
I got to say something. If you have pets, I want to tell you something. They're taking a hit for you first.
Mm.
So, so that anger and that upset, and you guys are arguing um, in um, in the household. The pets are taking on that change of that cellular DNA, and they die first, and they're taking the hit for you.
Or how about your young children?
That too.
Oh my God. I mean, they absorb this stuff. I mean, they're super sensitive to this kind of thing.
Yeah. And so what I'd say is that you have to really, if you don't care enough about yourself, care about your kids and your pets and everybody else that you're harming every time you have that fight. And I'm not saying, and I really want to make a distinction here. I'm not saying don't use your voice. You need to use your voice. I'm saying use your voice constructively. Don't fight mean. Fight healthy.
Well,
Are
well, bring a level of compassion to everything. Like when you deal with people compassionately, even though let's say you do have something that you need to clear
Mhm.
between a person. Well, you could do it in a mean way, right? In a emotionally charged negative way, or you could do it with compassion and love, and that's a different vibration.
Yeah, I'm going to bring this example up. Let me just I'm allowed to do it. So my husband and I would fight in a way. This is why I'm an expert. Speaking from experience, okay? We would fight in a way that wasn't healthy. Now, I learned how to fight or argue or handle my issues in a way that was healthy. And then I got around him, and he had learned how to do it differently. Now, growing up with his mom and dad, they did things healthy. His mom and dad are delightful, okay? And he didn't learn it from his mom, and he didn't learn it from his dad. He learned it from his former wife to go on defense and attack, defense, attack, defense, attack, okay? And I'm like, but can't we just talk about it and handle it? Right? And so he rewired how we did things. Well, he rewired how he did things. Because then, by the way, I took on that same methodology. So what are you learning? Who are you learning it from? How is it negatively or positively impacting your well-being? Right? Do you need to change it? And if you do, call us because we can help. Because here's the thing. He was programmed to believe that if somebody gave him feedback, especially, his partner, that he had to go on defense and attack back. I'm like, I'm not attacking you. I'm like, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. You're the most important thing that ever happened to me. So, but I need to make sure also that my boundaries are taken care of. Like my needs, like I can't live in X, whatever X is. So Kathy, like you're listening, right? So if you're having that conversation with your mate, it's whatever X is. I'm not comfortable with X. Can we recreate X and have Z instead? Or can we have C, right? And we don't need to get into stories. Stories are irrelevant, right? It's about the methodology, the process of which we process our emotions. And if you are not able to manage your emotions, you need to look at your water supply. You need to look at the electromagnetic frequencies. You need to look at your food intake. Like, are there foods that you're sensitive to that are causing you to have depression, anxiety, and stress, right? And breakdowns. Or are there chemicals in those things that are also causing that? And even after you do that, and also we do the energy work to remove that thought form from your body. You remove the thought form, you remove those frequencies, but then you still have to modify your behavior, but you're not tethered to an old belief system, but you still have to do the work. Okay. So, I want to, because it's, unfortunately, you can't just talk about water. You have to talk about all the things that happen and what that manifests as when you are drinking toxic water. And so, Naima has a question, and Raj, I'm gonna let you take it. Do you want to? Is that cool?
Yeah. So, well, you read it, and I'll go ahead
Sure.
and.
So Naima Latif says, "Grand Rising, great teachers. I love Dr. Emoto's experiment. Can you expound on how the words written on the glass or cup you're drinking from can affect the water or whatever you're drinking positively or negatively?" And what I'll say is, Raj, Let's do a yes hand. Let's talk not only about the glass or cup you're drinking from, but the water filter that you're using, because I do it to the water filters. So go ahead.
Yeah. So, as we mentioned earlier, everything has a vibration. Everything has a frequency to it. Our thoughts have a frequency. Our words have a frequency. As a matter of fact, life could not exist with vibration, frequency, and energy. Right? Tesla talked about to untap the secrets of the universe. Think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. But water specifically, right, is very, very sensitive to vibration, right? Because it's malleable. It's not a hard, solid object, right? And so it will pick up information. It would retain information. It's actually delivering. That's how you get minerals into your body. A lot of times it's water soluble. It gets absorbed into the water. The water is delivered. You drink that water, it goes into your body, and you're essentially 70% water. So that is assimilated into your cells, right? Through the water that you're ingesting, that you're taking in. So water is designed to give this life-giving ability through its ability to be malleable and absorb information and take that in, right? And so when we're in a negative emotional environment, we're creating a frequency field, and that water is taking that in. It's actually structuring based on the environment it's in. And when we consume that, we're consuming that energy, we're consuming that vibration. And so really, this is part of the conversation. This is multifaceted. It's not just one thing. When we filter our water, we should also take a concerted effort to also bless our water, right? And to put good emotions to our water before we consume it, because that also helps to structure the water. So if we clean the water up, right, so kind of give it a neutral base and then structure it in a positive way to where now we give it those beautiful geometric shapes, in that we're creating where we're creating a harmonic kind of frequency set that allows for life to flourish and for your body to respond in such a beautiful way. So think about cymatics. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with cymatics, but cymatics is a study of sound or vibration on matter, on solids, as an example. So cymatics, they use this plate. They have a little plate. They put the sand on the plate, and then they run a vibration or a frequency sound through that plate, and depending on the frequency that you're using, you will actually get geometrical shapes that come out of. So the sand will self-organize, okay, self-organize into these geometric shapes. Well, your water is a lot more malleable than those sand particles, right? And so they're very, very sensitive to the environment, and that's why having that EMF pollution in your home is also going to affect your water. Having
I'm
toxic
looking for the link or the image that I got on a Centropics seminar, and it showed what the cocoon did to the water. Did I send that to you?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know if you sent it to me recently, but yeah, that if you could find that, that's a great visual, right? Because it is structuring the water, because it's creating a harmonic resonance with that water, but it's coherent versus a non-coherent field that's just chaos, right?
Yeah. When I saw that, so my entire house is structured, right? Which I love. And when I get, which we really aren't doing that so much anymore, but if I get into a fight with my husband, or I even get a fight with someone on the phone, like, I don't know, like Verizon or Xfinity, that's an easy thing to do. I clear the energy in the house, right? So Wonder if this one is. Nope, this is not it either. But basically, I mean, I think I sent it to you, Raj, if you want to check your phone. It might be easier than me trying to find this here. If I'll check the text messages I sent you. But it's so powerful, how how we can shift the water in our home to be filled with joy, peace, happiness, love, right? Or we can shift the water to be demonic. And that's a sad thing, Raj, I think I'm almost there with that water, because I can't go too much further back. I know I'm going to find this.
Or I'll send you something here. I found something on someone's website, but yeah, here I'll send it to you in a second.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And so it's amazing. So basically when you think about Emoto's, so I think that answers, Naima, I hope that answers your question, meaning that the words written on the glass, you put love on it, it's picking up the frequency of love, high vibration. You should put high vibration words on your water filters. We do. And I know that some of the people that we work with also, like it's not Dr. Jeremy Freeman, who's a biochemist out in Florida, has the upgrade formula, and he does that as well. Like when he makes his products, he will, oh yeah, this is awesome. Look at this. Let me see if I can get that. Okay. So I didn't, yeah, that's awesome. I'm pulling it up now. Okay, so I'm skipping the ad. Okay, here we go. So this is awesome. I didn't know that we had this. This is awesome. Okay, wait till you all see this. So once you get your water filter, I'm just gonna say, get the cocoon. So let me see if I can do this right. I mean, I can do it right. Can I do it? Here we go. Oh, this is for the cloud. Oh, and the bubble and the cocoon. Okay. So check this out, people.
Yeah, zoom in there if you don't mind.
I will. So
Yeah.
let me see how I can do this well. How's that? Is that better over there?
There you go. Yeah. That's
Okay.
good.
So look at this. So your water, before having, frequency on it, a specific frequency, whether you're using our cloud, which is a PEMF device, the bubble or the cocoon.
Yeah, here's the bubble. So I'm wearing this, right, all day long. So it's structuring my water. That's within my body, right? Because it's in my body, right? Or when I'm drinking water, right? But I'm structuring the water outside of me and inside of me at the same time.
Oh, I love it. And I'm not wearing mine this morning. It's sitting on my at my nightstand. But my whole house has the cocoon.
Right.
So I'm being structured, right?
That's
And
right.
my water is in the house is being structured, my body, the water in my body's being structured, and I'm this little snowflake over here, right?
Right.
Yeah, you and I are all the lower end snowflakes, which are happy snowflakes, right? And this is so real. I am so grateful to this doctor for helping us to understand. And I don't know. what else can we explain to people about water? What have I missed? We talked about structure. We talked about alkaline and the myths about that. How you can just quickly get, alkaline water simply by filtering it. You don't have to pay a lot of money. I guess I really do want to talk about how inexpensive these systems are. So I'm not giving you the discounted price, okay? The shower head with not handheld is $85 less 25%, or it's $84 something, or 83. The handhelds are around 115, 25% off. The Traveler is $229, 25% off. The whole house water filtration system is $1972 minus 15% off. I think it ends up being $1672. And so, you guys, you could spend that on medication and you can lose a day's work, okay, because you have bad water. So the first step you have to do is you have to get your water supply in check. And
Yeah,
then,
it's the long game, right? Over
yeah.
time, right? You keep accumulating all that stuff, and it will eventually cost you a lot of money, right? So having some pure some good clean water that you consistently are taking in, that's going to change your quality of life. That's going to improve your quality of life in a dramatic way. Well worth what you would be paying in terms of like having a whole house water filter or whatever. It's definitely an investment that people need to take seriously. But maybe let's also talk about how much water people are drinking. People are dehydrated, right? How many people are drinking enough water that they need, right?
They're not.
Especially they're not. Yeah, for sure.
Well, let me,
Um,
let me let me make it worse.
yeah.
Okay. So let's assume you are drinking enough water. Let's give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but it's not filtered. So it's got the glyphosate in it, which pulls the minerals out of your body, which dehydrates you even more.
The fluoride, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so think about it, right? So would you mass medicate a whole population?
Hmm.
So we have
Oh, you're
a s-
going down that hole. I'm so
well,
glad.
well, but really, if you think about it, right?
Oh
Okay,
no, it's being medicated against your consent all flipping day long.
and
Go.
not only that, but let's say you do have a medication that's beneficial, right, for someone, okay, but it's gonna have it may not be beneficial for someone else, right? So let's say you're
I'm biting
the
my tongue.
right. So let's say you have one person that needs this medication in this dosage. Well, they're younger, they have these certain issues, health issues or whatever. They have a complex situation, right? So it needs a specific remedy, let's just say, okay? But then someone who's 50 years older, susceptible to other things, much more complicated system or a much more complicated situation, you're not going to give them the same exact dosage, okay? So they're putting things like fluoride in the water supposedly to help your teeth, okay, which is
You
all
know that was false.
we all is all
Actually,
BS.
it led to false teeth. Go ahead. Yeah.
Right. But yet everyone's getting the same dosage. Well, you're actually being medicated against your consent, without consent, on the same level for everyone. Well, giving a baby,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this much of let's say aspirin versus like a baby aspirin versus that's why they call it a baby aspirin. It's for babies. Okay. Giving one that you would have like a extra strength aspirin that you would give a much older person to a baby, that's not going to be good for that baby. Right.
Well,
So how do you control
why are
that?
all those medications getting into the system? Because they're
How?
all those. Everybody who takes medication are peeing into the toilet. Are they filtering for that at the
No, they can't. For
municipality?
much of those chemicals, they don't try to take out, or they can't.
Oh, so you're trying to tell me that every time my neighbor takes a medication and I don't filter my water, I'm taking that medication?
You're potentially taking that in because they don't even filter for all that.
I mean, I would normally say potentially, but not potentially.
Yeah, I mean, that's because they reclaim that water. They
Right.
reclaim it, they reuse it, right? Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like this water that we're using has been on the planet for longer than we have,
Mhm.
for millions of years, just being reused, recycled, right? There's a natural process, but now what we're doing is we're artificially doing that, right? So we reclaim the water, we reuse it, but it's the same water over and over again.
Yeah, check this out. So, NELAC, okay, it's we have a third-party tested report. This is for the water filters that you and I offer to people. This is for the home, and it's taking out all these chemicals. Reduction 99.9%, right? And volatile organic contaminants here, arsenic, right? 99.9%, barium, 99.7%, lead. This is all 99.9. I'll say if it's different than that. Lead, manganese, mercury, nickel, selenium, zinc, atrazine turns male frogs into female frogs, right? All this is a third-party tested report. If you're buying a water filter and they're not providing you with a third-party tested report, then you should return the water filter and get one that is willing to pay another company, okay, to make their case. Because otherwise, you're just buying their opinion. I want you to buy proof.
Yeah, there's a lot of marketing out there, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of like when we looked at the was it the purity? What was that one first water filter we looked at?
Oh, Brita.
The
Brita.
Brita. Like
Yeah.
they didn't even mention what they take out, like
No.
barely. And it was
Right.
like it's like,
Okay.
oh, here's a water filter.
Yeah. So this is taking out the caffeine, ibuprofen. These are all the drugs. Okay. Uh, progesterone, sulfonite. So ours are taking out PFAs, those forever chemicals. Okay. That's a big deal. So, anyways, signed and dated by the lab director, Jamie Young. Okay. Here's information on the PFAs. Okay. This is all coming out of your water filter. So if someone is not giving you this, walk away. Okay. If they can't give it to you, walk away. When you go to my website, you can see all these reports. Okay.
Yeah.
And I just put the report for this link in the thread. But if you are not willing, look, here's the thing. I'm an intuitive. Okay. So is Raj. And we are intuitively drawn to goodness. I still want the flippin' test. Okay. Especially when it comes to my water.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And really for the benefit of other people too, right? Because it's not
Mhm.
just for us, right? Because we are trying to reach out to other because we want people to feel better and not have to deal with the crap that we've had to deal with,
Yeah.
right? Because we both had our wellness journeys, and we care about helping other people. That's kind of we're mission driven in that respect, right? I mean, we could
Mhm.
be doing a lot of other things than what we're doing, right?
Yeah,
But we
we make so much money on the shower head, right? Like
right,
five,
yeah,
10 bucks.
we're doing this because we care and we're trying to make a difference. It's not, there's you know, and so a lot of people do need that information. right? A lot of people need that peace of mind. And, we want that integrity to come from these companies that we support. And, having that report is a demonstration of integrity.
Yes, thank you.
And that is what we want to align with, because, there is a lot of negative and deceptive marketing out there that, very misleading. And especially today, in this day and age, it's like it's a big problem. Like, there's so much deception in the marketing that's out there, and it's everywhere. We find it on social media, in our news, our TV, everything, right? So, we need to start demanding more integrity, right? And people need to show up. And if the companies don't show up, we shouldn't really give them our business.
Yeah, and if you bought something, I'm just going to say this, I'm giving you permission. Tell them your brain health coach
Right.
told you that whatever it is that like if something's making you sick, return it to the store, get your money back, vote with your dollars. Just tell them your nutritionist, your coach said it was making you sick and you need to return it.
Yeah,
Like,
voting with our dollars is very important in just really everything that we do, right? Because unfortunately, the system that we live in, I think that's one of the most effective ways we can voice our opinion.
I agree. I agree. I'm gonna run a commercial because I know the girls want to come up. So we've only have 15 minutes left on the show. So let me just run down there and grab them, and I'll run a quick commercial. Okay.
Okay.
Bye. Hi, I'm Jody Susan with Susan Essentials. I started Susan Essentials in 2015 because of a personal health journey. I was over-medicated and put on 19 different medications. And yes, I reversed all my chronic diseases using plant and energy-based healing. It was amazing. At Susan Essentials, we support both consumers and businesses, and we do that with helping your employees or yourself with a food as medicine mindset. How Susan Essentials supports businesses and consumers is we teach people about a food as medicine mindset. So we support people on how to support their own immune system, how to support their brain health, how to support their emotional well-being. And we do that all with plant and an energy-based healing. Hi, I'm Jody Susan with Susan Essentials. I started Susan Essentials in 2015 because of a personal health journey. Okay, so the birds. So Fagler wants to come up. Tinkerbell's like, I'm not having anything of it, right? And I'm chasing a bird, and she's flying through the house. This doesn't work. All right. So Fagla, say hi to Uncle Raji.
Hey, Fagla.
All right. So do you have? Yes. Okay. So Fagla says you need to talk more about the shower.
Oh yeah, the shower. I mean, look, that's a big problem. It's maybe even more so than drinking, is showering in unfiltered water, right? Because essentially that bypasses your body has organs like your stomach, for instance, right? And all kinds of things that processes information and processes that food that comes in, right? And gets rid of stuff. Well, your skin doesn't have all that. It bypasses that system, right? And so when you're showering in polluted and toxic water, especially when it's hot, your pores open up, right? And then all those chemicals get absorbed into your body and go straight into the bloodstream, right? So having a shower filter is one of the first things you should do, right? Because you're taking in a lot of water when you shower, and that water is being absorbed. Well, what's in that water is also being absorbed. And so it's a simple, easy solution. Like what's a water filter shower head filter cost? It's really not that much.
$85 less 25%.
Yeah.
So I will actually pull it up right now so we can actually see the prices. But
Yeah, and you could feel it, right? I mean, it feels different when you're showering in that in filtered water versus, just no filter.
oh,
And
Andrew's
most people,
like all in on the shower head thing. He's like, you don't have to wait. It feels amazing on the first moment. And he's
right?
right. So it's $62.96 on sale. And
Yeah,
then what I do is I recommend, because it comes with a filter inside,
right.
get at least one extra filter,
Yeah,
possibly 2, 3, or 4, because the shipping is like $16 or whatever, and you really don't want to have to pay, and these are 25% off right now.
mhm,
So the replacement filter is 41, so less 25%. So the replacement filter now is $31. I mean, this is the time to buy, right?
right.
And we do this every single year from November 14th or so until December 31st. The issue is that we run out of stock really quick because like that. So
Yeah, having a water filter for your shower, if you don't have a whole house filter,
mhm.
um, that's a great option there because um, we most people aren't thinking about the shower water, right? If they are thinking about water, they're thinking for the most part about, filtering their drinking water. But just as important, if not more important, is that shower water that if you're bathing in that, right? A lot of women like to take baths, right? And so they just sit there in the tub, right? And their skin is absorbing that stuff.
Well, and so Fagla just bit me because she's like, you really need to tell them this. So first of all, not the free gift with any water filter purchase. Let me reframe that. I hear you. I promise. So what kind of bathtub do you have, Raj?
What kind of bathtub?
Yeah. Is it ceramic?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it is ceramic, but I'd
Mhm.
have to. Yeah,
Probably if you have an older home.
yeah,
But if you have a newer home, fiberglass, plastic.
right.
And then you take a bath in that. You put in your essential oils, and those essential oils leach, right? Help the plastic in your tub leach the chemicals into the water.
Mm,
Now, how are you?
yeah.
You're really hurting me. So, what is it that I need to say that I'm not saying? That taken, okay, I'm saying it. She just was really adamant about it. Okay, be kind. Okay. All right. So I know, like Meshuggah, right? Um, so basically, if you're taking a bath, even if it's filtered water and it's in one of those plastic tubs,
Right.
you're getting toxins in your body because you're using your soap, you're using your oils, you're using your shampoo and all that, and it's interacting with that plastic, people.
That's another big thing too, right? So it's about interactions, right?
Mhm,
So we all know about having drug interactions.
mhm.
Well, when we're consuming all these chemicals, and we're also taking pharmaceuticals. Some people, I'm not, but some people are, right?
Yeah,
How does that
me neither. Isn't
how does that
there like a plant for every pharmaceutical, Raj? Just saying.
Yeah, absolutely. But how does the interaction all come together, right? Is there anyone even monitoring how all these things, when they come together, what the synergy is? Because a lot of times,
Or
you
not.
put two things together and it becomes exponentially worse versus them by themselves, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you that what is it? The physician's desk reference.
Yeah, the
They
PDR.
talk about all the interactions between the drugs.
Yeah,
But who's talking about the interactions between the chemicals that they're putting in our food supply and our bodies, and our water supply and our bodies, and the things in our home and our bodies? Your rug's not that much better either.
Right.
And I want to, we're going to end it just a couple minutes early because I need to go to sleep. So it's 9:53. She's laughing at me. Here's, I don't know how to say this. So we assumed that our food and water is safe, that our government has our back. And it's safe according to them. The question is that you have to ask yourself is it safe according to you? And if it's not safe according to you, you need to do differently.
Mm.
For me, it's not safe according to me. For Raj, it's not safe according to him. And then I'm just going to say this. Stop making excuses. What are you buying now that you don't have to buy, that you can buy yourself a shower head? Because that's the number one purchase you can make. And right now it's $62. I don't think you have an excuse.
Yep.
The only thing is, ooh, that's harsh. Okay, they're saying you are so committed to your identity of being sick and complaining about pain or complaining about whatever it is, that you're more committed to this identity that you've created for yourself, that you're afraid to step into joy, peace, happiness, and health. That would be the only reason, really. Because if I can do this, disability, because I was disabled. And so on my disability income, that's how I afforded this. So I'm not a big person who accepts excuses.
Yeah, when there's a will, there's a way,
Mhm.
regardless of what your circumstances are.
Mhm.
And your water is an easy solution for that, especially when it comes to the shower, right? I mean, that's not a big it's much easier than completely changing the way you eat and all that stuff. I mean, it's one of the simplest things you can do, but that's going to go a long way to improving your quality of life.
Yeah. Are there any questions before we go? I know we have many, many people in the Facebook group, so it doesn't show up here. But if there's any questions before we go, we'll answer that. You do get a free gift with any water filter purchase. It's a frequency. It helps you to relax, have peace and calm, and basically we're helping you get rid of toxins out of your body. And it can be delivered anywhere in the world. Do you think there's anything else we need to cover, or can we?
Well, before I don't think we really we started to look at it, but then we got just sidetracked. But the number of chemicals in the environment and how quickly they're
Yeah. So I opened that up, and then I did share the link. So let me
Yeah.
go to your private chat again. So actually, it might be easier. Do you want to talk to it?
I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of chemicals that they're creating, synthetic new chemicals. Okay, and I think if you want to pull that up, I think it's over 300,000 different chemicals in the environment, and only a small fraction of that has been tested for safety, like a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction. We're talking, um, 1% or something. And they're expecting, and there was a part in that, they're expecting that to triple by 2050.
Yeah,
So
I see.
350,000 chemicals. So every day they're creating new compounds, just about.
Yeah.
And that's getting into our environment. So it's a big problem that we need to really consider. And it's getting worse, not getting better. So
Yeah, and if you don't care about yourself, then care about the animals that are being pushed out of the ocean, right? Because the animals are sick of ingesting your water bottles. Just saying. So anything else you want to add to that?
No, I think I'm good, but I just want to thank for everyone for taking the time to watch. And water is what allows for you to have a vibrant life, and so take care of that water that you bring into your body.
Yeah, and thank you very much. Reach out to either Raj or myself. Raj, you want to tell people your phone number and how to reach out to you?
Yeah, 847-754-8555. Or you can go to my link tree, getthefrequency.com.
Okay, that is awesome. And 847-738-0242. Just text me. It's the best way. And I'll call you back when I'm, done with whatever it is that I'm doing. You can use the red free consult button on my website at www.susanessentials.com. Thank you, Raji.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Have a wonderful and blessed day.
Yeah, and let me just run the little ending thing. And hey, next week, what's next week? We got No Sugar Mama on.
Oh, nice. I love No Sugar Mama.
Me too.
She's a cool lady, and she's got a good product there.
Yeah, and we're going to connect brain health and gut health. All right.
All right. Good stuff.